Yes, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good.
Good morning. Hi.
Yes,
Again.
morning on my side, afternoon to you.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Okay, that's good to hear.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you very much.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where my notes are.
If you want to add your channel to this stream, you can.
um, I don't know how to. Do
Do you
I
see,
press?
do you see a section where it says um okay,
It's
wait.
okay. I mean, we can do it another time. Yeah, don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just share. Yeah, I don't want to take up much of your. I mean, but it is quick?
Yeah, I think it is. I need to find that option again because I gave permission to do it, but I need to tell you on your side how to add it. So
Oh, okay.
at the bottom of your screen, you see some icons like a microphone, a camera,
Mm-hmm.
um, a plus sign.
Mm-hmm. It says presentation, screen share, extra camera, local video.
Okay, the settings icon. Let me see. Video show. Maybe we'll wait the next time because then I could take a mental note to show you how to
Yeah.
add. I think I would have had to add it when I was creating the stream,
Oh, okay, okay, okay,
but
okay.
it did say something like you would have added it on your side. So that's why I was looking for that option.
Oh, okay.
Okay, wait, hold on. Let me see. Maybe I found it. Mm, no, that's not it. Not it. All right, let me go to the next one. No, that's not it. That's not it.
All right. No worries. I think we can do a mental note next time.
Yeah. So you said you had some notes that you wanted to show?
No, no, no. Well, I was just like for me to refer to as we're discussing today, like
Mm-hmm.
for the I don't yeah flow of conversation.
You have any
Um,
video? You have any videos you wanted to play?
no, no, I don't have any videos. Um, it was just notes for me as we're discussing today's topic. You know,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Okay.
failure and finding the way. You know,
Right.
yeah. So let me just pull that up for myself as I mean, when I sent this topic, what did you think about it? And
Well, I think it could also be catered to people in general, not just a certain age group.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do think that. I mean, it could focus on an age group, but I think a lot of people are feeling like that at different ages.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, because yeah, you're right. It should any life happens to everybody at any age. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking more like in terms of you, because I know I spoke a lot last time. Like in terms of you, how did you see it? Like failure and finding your way in relation to you, like what you've gone through.
Well, you just gotta. I think that it's good to just try and keep things think positive.
Hmm.
You know, even in the tough times. You can't let it kill your joy. You can't let it get you down. You got to find ways to find refuge in those dark times, you know?
Yeah.
If not,
Yeah.
it was going to take
Mhm.
you over.
Sorry, is there noise in your background? There's
No, it's
new.
just the music playing.
Oh, oh, okay. I was hearing some like news in the background, like it feels like news broadcasting in the background. Yeah, so we can, yeah, go on with, the why this topic. And I think it, as you said, it resonates with everybody at any stage
Hmm.
of life. And that spiritual aspect of it. Yeah, so sorry, there's too much noise going on. I can't concentrate.
What
Um,
noise are you talking about? The music in the background?
the music in the background, and also there's like a news. Okay, it stopped right now. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Like my concentration. I
Yeah, try to tune it out. That's a part of the, you know, learning how to
yeah.
tune things out and don't get
No,
distracted.
no. I've never been. I've tried. Okay, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. Okay.
Never been distracted.
Too much noise. I get affected with noise. Um,
Oh, you have a noise sensitivity.
yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. So like I
Okay.
can't even when I'm trying to speak and think through. It's
Hmm.
it's hard for me to put my thoughts together.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, so yeah. So I thought this was a timely topic considering that. I mean, like recently in the news, like the U.S. aid is no more any, and
Hmm.
a lot of people have lost their jobs, and people who have families who were very dependent on it. So this just goes to show
Hmm.
a reminder that, like, I mean, I remember we were speaking with somebody. I being in the NGO sector, like, if you got a job with US aid, you were set for basically life, not life, but like you were good. That's a stable job. It didn't like I'm sure like for the American, like going from either way as an American or if you are like someone who worked in and even here, like you had a US aid, you got a job with us in a US aid project, you are good. The stability, and they paid well, and I mean it goes to show life. Like it's just one simple example. What we think is, like, oh, you're set, and now there are countless families without jobs. I mean, individuals without jobs, and also families without, income, income. So yeah, it just this is where faith comes from, like that move of like job security. You've made it. It's a reminder.
Hmm.
The job loss obviously brought some. For sure brought a lot of tears, and like right now, I can only imagine what those families are going through right now. The fear, and their faith is being tested. Like for those ones who are very trying to find jobs right now. No, anyone who's lost jobs, like just to give an example. And this reminds me of the during like COVID time, right before COVID, where I lost most of my jobs. And even right before that, the first time I got laid off, that was my second time to be laid off. The first time was when I was in my
And,
20s.
and what year was that?
So in COVID, it was right before COVID hit in 2020, so 2019, end of 2019, I got laid off.
Yeah,
And
that was very, very depressing.
very depressing. And so, I would have thought I would have gotten used to being laid off because I had got actually laid off when I was in my 20s. That was right before the financial crisis. That was probably in the States. I can't remember. And I took it hard. And that was in my 20s. In your 20s, you can pick yourself up. So this was in my beginning in my 40s, like, let's say 20 years later.
Hmm.
And that was really hard. And during that period, then COVID hit. But this is, I was so fearful. How I even the way I reacted when I got laid off, it wasn't a great exit for me at work, truthfully. Because actually I was acting out of fear. I was like, and that was a period where also I had to have surgery for my fibroids, and like, where is the insurance going to come from? So this is where my faith got really tested a lot. And I can only imagine, and I imagine this is just me. I don't have any dependents, So I can imagine for those families who have dependents, who are dependent on them, I can only imagine what they're going through. And for me, looking back then, it really, as I say, tested my faith. And the funny part, I was just telling somebody, it's only when you're going through those periods, actually, that's when I felt like I grew even closer to God, having faith in Him and trying to believe in miracles. And actually, a lot of blessings came out of that period. I actually,
Yeah, it did.
yeah, it was through God brought in different people to help me. And I saw that there were small acts of miracles, and I learned gratitude. I learned, like, even like, I spent a whole year without a job, and I was living alone, and I managed to have, like I could pay for my apartment. I could, like, during COVID, pay for my apartment, and I survived. I had food, and like but it was through blessings. God brought different people, and that was faith. And each time I was tested, and like every time I was like, oh, I know I'm going to be kicked out. I'm going to be kicked out, and each time God came through. So, um, I was just like, I'm just saying that right now because this is also such a hard time right now in the development NGO sector. Imagine the families that are going through this, and also my profession as a fundraiser. It's also one of those professions that is also very sensitive in NGO, in the sense that if they were to get rid of positions right now, like, that would be one of the first ones to get rid of. I've seen my
Hmm.
colleagues um, re-interview for their own positions that they have. You would
Right.
think the one position people keep on during this, when you're looking for money, like funding sources are limited, but no, that's the first position people somehow currently are trying to get rid of. So this is it is also testing it's also like this period, as I'm looking at the NGO sector, my sector right now, it's just teaching me, like, it reminded me of, like, okay, a lesson of, like, okay, fear, and also, again, having faith in God that it's going to be okay. And even if anything was to happen, He's in control. Like, finding your way, like, and maybe sometimes what I've learned, sometimes these things happen. No, they happen for a reason, and maybe it could be a time for a change. We we don't realize the protection that this is where faith comes in. How some things happen to protect us or to push us to the next step. In our life,
Right.
it's hard when you're going through it. But when you look back, you're like, okay, now that was the lesson I was supposed to learn. I was being protected. I was, in God honest truth, the last job I got, that was right before COVID. I was ready to leave the job. I was so ready, and at a blink,
The fundraise,
huh?
the charity organization that you work for, you wanted to leave it.
Yeah, the one right before I got laid off during COVID. I was ready, and I'd been applying for different. It was a toxic environment. I'd been applying for different
Hmm.
jobs, wasn't getting. So looking back, in a way, that being laid off was a blessing in disguise. It was like it forced me out of the organization. Yes, after that it wasn't easy. I was laid off, looking for a job, and it took me a year and a half before I could get the next job. But in that one year, even that
Hmm.
1.5 years, God came through in so many ways. So, um, but I also discovered, I learned a lot about myself. I learned, a lot about things that, yeah, the lessons, looking back, reflection. Yeah. So
Right.
it's easy to offer advice and say, oh, you need to find right now, diversify your income streams, stay relevant, prepare for transition. But some of these things, they happen. Well, and no matter how prepared you can be, it happens. And the test is when you are in in the in the storm, you know, in the middle of the storm, you know.
And all of this started happening when you turned 40.
Um,
Is that why you say in the 40s is when you got to have more faith and be
no,
less
no, no.
fearful?
Actually, that's I think I only started learning that lesson in as I'm getting older. But I remember, as I said, the first time I got laid off was in my 20s, and you would have
Mm-hmm.
thought my second time getting laid off, I would have in my 40s, 20 years, I would have handled it better. No, I didn't. So I guess it's not about the age. I guess for me, I think it depends on the individual, and yeah, for me, it's just right for I just think each decade there was lessons to be learned and one you
Mm-hmm.
handle. I'm just saying 40s right now because I'm in that age bracket right now. That's the other reason. It's the current.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was to look back, there were several lessons in the 30s, the 20s. I'm sure also for you, like,
Mm-hmm.
where you had like fear, like you really, and, even this topic can relate. Even the young ones. Yeah. So I was just using, I said the 40s because this is the current period right now and what we're going through, with this, the, the situation right now. But you know what? This funny part, there's always, we forget that there's always going to be crisis, job security, insecurity in every decade or in every
Every
period.
country.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this is, I don't think it's anything new. I think as human beings, we tend to forget. This is like, pandemic. There was pandemic years ago, several pandemics.
Mm-hmm.
Job insecurity. It's always been there. Or security. We go through phases of, like, how the world is going. But it's just, I guess it's the thing of not letting fear take over, which is easier said than done. Our mind,
Right.
our it goes back to our mind, our mental, yeah, the mental ability. Well, I don't know if it's abilities or how you can handle, you know, how strong is your mind to always every day telling you when you wake up, reminding yourself to be grateful, to those affirmations, or whatever you want does, meditation, through prayer, like, so you can set out the day. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's just a constant reminder. That's why I think this can never go out of style, motivation or us reminding ourselves, because as human beings we can talk about like, yeah, we're going to do it, and next minute we forget and we're hit with something, and then you're taking 10 steps behind you know
Yeah.
so that's why, yeah, I guess that's why we need that constant reminder. It could be through those affirmations, it could be through scriptures, quotes, praying and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, especially if someone is part of a religion
Yeah.
or some type of spiritual system, they can always revert back to that,
Yeah.
you know?
And then we also,
Because some,
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
mm-hmm. No, go ahead. What you was going to say?
I always wondered how people could separate professional versus personal. You know, I mean,
Yeah, it is kind of hard, especially if you work in the education system. You bring that stress from work right to your house. You bring it right to your family.
Yeah,
You
that's
bring it right into your personal life unknowingly. You say you're gonna leave all of that in the classroom or leave it
yeah.
at your job. It's
Mhm.
kind of hard to do that.
It's
It
very
is,
hard. It's very one or
especially when you
another.
have expectations
Mhm,
from people. The
mhm.
expectations is just gonna drive you crazy when you go home because you're thinking about how you're gonna do the next day,
Yes.
how you're gonna make it better, what you could do differently. You know.
Mhm. That I feel as if like it's a lie. Like you know how like people can separate. As you say, it's very hard. You know because it intertwines. It doesn't. How can you separate? Like it's like telling yourself you're dividing yourself in half.
Mhm.
I mean, congratulations.
It is hard to do it.
Who can do it?
I mean, some people probably can. Yeah, some people probably can do it.
Yeah,
But it's a small percentage that can literally leave work at work.
very
It
true.
is.
That's true. It's a very small percentage, and congratulations to you, to those who can. But I'm sure majority, whether we admit it or not, it's still the same mind. It's the
Mhm.
same. Like you're still going to. You're the same person who's going to go home. So it's not like a robot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yes, you can sort of consciously, but there's certain things that will still trickle in in each other.
Mhm.
Definitely, things will trickle. Yeah. So I think that's why like I think I don't know that kind of style of like professionalism or those companies like leave your personal life at like yes, there's certain things obviously you leave it at home or even when you're at home you leave your work life. But yes, there's certain things, but you can't. We have to. I don't know. I don't can't say 100% that you're gonna be. It's you're gonna leave the other from the other. It affects the other. If you get sick, is the healthy half of you going to go to work? Just for example, an example. So
Mhm.
that's why I like, whatever affects your work, the stress or, the, which is causing high blood pressure, all these other ripple effect diseases, it affects your personal life also. You won't be there
Yeah.
to help them to be the breadwinner, to be the source of income. So,
And especially when people have personal issues,
mhm,
they definitely gonna bring their personal issues home with them. They're gonna bring their work home with them, and then you just got a overload of stress altogether.
yeah. So,
Some people with health issues. You
mhm,
know, some people they feel like they should go to the gym more, but they don't have time to do it. You know what
mhm,
I mean? And
yes,
that's bothering them. So, we just have to learn how to see what we need to heal and to stay afloat and don't sink under. Like if you know you want to lose weight, then you need to do things that's going to make you lose weight. You know what I'm saying? If you know that you want to gain some weight, then you need to, what you need to do to gain weight. So it's a both answer on both sides.
yes,
You know,
yeah, yeah. No, definitely. Like,
but we know what we need to do
yeah,
before anybody else knows. Before we even can talk about it to anybody else, we know what our problem is.
no, yeah. I mean, and we have to trust that. I think we talked about this intuition, that gut feeling. I think we talked about this
Hmm.
last time. Listen to yourself before we have majority of the time we have the answer. We go to other people
Hmm.
for confirmation. We already know a sort of sense, and if you're intuitive enough, you already know if I go to this person, that person will say, "Give me this type of answer." This type of if I go to this type of person will give me this type of answer. And then we have
Hmm.
yeah, um, it's in this climate like this also a reminder that also as much as um, I mean, if you're the workaholics, it's a reminder that the job can get rid of you if it's, especially if it's not even your business. Even if it's your business and you own a company but you have a board of, they can get rid of you. So it's
Yeah, I
a
know.
reminder, like this is, this every so often these things remind us. Um, I think this topic, like it's so broad, but it's also you just made me realize it's like it's what we deal with a day in day out. I know we're speaking from the professional into the personal, but it affects everything in
Hmm.
life. Um, Part of me, I wish I was wiser when I was younger. Looking back, interesting more, listening more to intuition, believing in yourself, having that confidence, letting no one deter you, or even sometimes our own, we self sabotage,
Right.
um, you know, yeah, like being aware of when you
Yeah,
self
because
sabotage.
sometimes you could be an emotional eater that you eat more when you under stress and pressure, and then you keep
Hmm.
doing that for 5 or 6 months. You're definitely
Hmm.
gonna gain weight. And then if you're not exercising to complement it, or you're not fasting or detoxing, then
Yeah.
you kind of like damage yourself more than necessary.
Hmm.
I think sometimes we do that. We damage ourselves
Yeah.
unnecessarily. Uncaused, it really, some of it is uncalled for because we know the solution. We know what we have to do. You
Yeah.
know, like once I realized that working for the school board is slowly but surely chipping away at my
Hmm.
emotional body, my physical body, my spiritual body, and my mental body. Once I realized it was doing that, I had to make a change because I'm seeing others
Yeah.
just staying in it, pretending that it doesn't exist, or just hanging on there for the sake of pension and retirement, and they're
Mm.
lost. They're messed up. They come with a boo hag energy. You know, they're angry.
Yeah.
They don't get along with other teachers. They're bitchy. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It
Yeah.
just turns into a big circus. And then it's all because you're in a place that you're not happy, but you feel stuck to it because you invested all your time and energy into it, and now it hasn't really gave you back what you put out. There's no
Yeah.
reciprocity in it.
Mm.
You're just giving, 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 but you're not getting back.
Yeah.
And then after a while, it chips at you and chips at you and tears you down slowly but surely. So every year, there's a layer being peeled away of yourself. Every year, you never have time to recuperate. You never have time to
Yeah.
regenerate. You never have time to recharge.
Yeah.
You're just constantly being depleted, depleted, depleted. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I love the students, and it's sad that the students have to suffer because administration, the higher up people, they don't know what they're doing. They don't care. They're running it backwards. They don't support the teachers, and the teachers give up. And after a while, when you don't care, then your quality of your job is going to show.
Mm.
It's going to show in your teaching skills. It's going to show in your classroom. You're just going to come to work just for the time to go by. You're not going to care anymore.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening. And in other jobs too, in other fields, it's the same thing.
Same thing.
You know, be there for a certain amount of years. You're like, I might as well just stay because I'm going to retire in 10 years. And those 10 years, you're being
Mm-hmm.
peeled away. So
Yeah.
we make ourselves suffer because we don't think there are outlets, but there are.
Yeah. This is where I think, it really does. Uh, this is,
Mm-hmm.
you're very right, and that's majority of people. We it's almost because we've been chipped away that we give up and just live life just for the sake of day to day, and then
Mm-hmm.
you don't realize how much you've been chipped away But sometimes, yeah, they don't. People don't realize, and then just like that, your life is over, and what did you accomplish? You know, and
Yeah, basically nothing. You accomplish high blood pressure. You accomplish
mhm,
obesity.
uh-huh,
You accomplish unnecessary stress.
yes,
Maybe maybe even damn near death.
yes, yeah. But if you think about it, just even the way you were saying it, just that makes me really sad because oh my goodness, it's sad because it's as I say, it's a majority of people, and
Hmm.
I think this is where it boils down to as individuals,
Right.
like making every effort in your life to make even one small difference in your life, and not waiting on others to make you happy, but you trying
Hmm.
yourself. You start with yourself. You know, yes, maybe you might have to stay in that job, but having something else or trying to, if you can, something else to doing something else to make you happy, or I don't know, or even trying. Like this is where it just boils down. I think we all have okay, no, those who have choices and but they choose to stay in those situations. That for me makes me sad because you if you have the choice and you have the capability of doing something different, or you've been faced with that reality in front of you, why don't you do it? Like I think for me, my one big fear is like, no, I mean, we have not limited. We do not know tomorrow. We do not know how long we are
Hmm.
on Earth. Yeah. So if you can, if it's possible, why don't you give a go and fail? At least you tried in your heart. The key thing you tried. You may have failed, but that's okay. But you tried. And
Yeah.
uh,
Just gotta find alternatives.
yeah. And the thing is, sometimes the answer could be like you can find it through other people. But in the end, you have to be the one to push yourself to do it, to go for
Exactly.
what is in your heart, what will make you happy, even if it's a small thing. Um, I used to think like how there's that thing. Oh, when I am X, I'll be happy. When I have this job, or when I have get this spouse, or when you'll be happy. But I think it's a good reminder.
Yeah.
How when you get it, are you guaranteed you'll be happy? Okay, then what? You know,
Hmm.
I don't know. So it's just I think it starts within. It's easy. Obviously, it's easier said than that. But I'd rather be the person who is trying. I said I tried, than not try.
Right.
Yeah, I think you're the
And if
same
you don't
also.
try, yeah, if you don't try, then you will never know
You
if
never
it was
know.
going to work or not.
And plus, that's also another way of finding your purpose, right? Like, why were you placed on?
Hmm.
We all of us have a purpose. All of us, even newborn, every human being has a purpose. Is to
Hmm.
and the purpose is sometimes I read somewhere. It doesn't have to be big. It could be why even someone's purpose could be like a parent. So we all have
True.
purpose, and we have to figure. Oh, people could also have different, multiple purposes. Yeah, no, like it's the big one and the small. It's just for the individuals to find out what it is. It is.
Hmm.
I always get a
But some
meet.
people, the people be full of fear so much
Uh-huh.
that they don't realize that they have a purpose.
Yeah.
You
Hmm.
know, so they can't find their way because
Hmm.
they're in fear.
Yeah.
Fear got them thinking that there's no way. This is the only way for them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this song, Fear is a liar. It is indeed a liar. It can numb you and just stop you from doing stuff. And then you stop doing some, like, then you project that fear onto others. Then who they have fear? The devil is a liar.
Right.
So, like, it's a ripple effect, you know? Um, it's so easy to let fear take control of us. It's so easy. Even like, for me and you who are trying to build our social platforms, there's a fear of, growing, and that's also part of like having faith. Like, God puts something in our head. There's, we have different, okay, our platforms. We use it for different things, right? But we
Yeah.
also have to have the faith that it will grow, even if it doesn't, maybe might not grow the way we're thinking or whatever. But it's touching people in different ways, and that's part of our purpose, finding our way, having faith. It's just remembering that, not letting fear get in our head saying that, oh, nothing is happening. And I'm sure you probably also go through this a couple of times when you're going through your channel, you're posting, you're trying to be your authentic self, and you're dealing with all sorts of things, your balance.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Like,
say that a lot.
yeah.
I should have more subscribers by
Mhm.
now. I should have more likes by now. But I think because sometimes I have a lot of guests will come on. Not sometimes, I'll just say it. In the past, a lot of guests come on,
Yeah.
and I can name maybe like on one hand how many guests came on and literally shared my channel, and that goes from not even just guests, asking friends to come on the panel when I have a guest on and everything. And I noticed that they don't even share the channel. Dr. Kaba Hiawatha, an elder from New York,
Mm.
he's a scholar. He shared my channel. He shared my Blog Talk Radio when I was doing Blog Talk Radio. And that was like an adamant thing for him. He's like, yeah, you send me the YouTube link once you create the podcast, and I'll share, the podcast so people could big up your channel and get you more subscribers. And then you did. And I can't think, and maybe someone else, I just can't think offhand right now. Oh, and I think no, it was just you two. And the Oracle from South Africa.
Mm.
3 people. If I missed anybody, please forgive me. But I'm just thinking off my head right now. I
Yeah.
only can think of 3 people. And I've had some guests come on more than once. I've had some invited people come on the panel more than once, and they don't share it on their channel.
Yeah.
They don't share it on the news feed. I mean, on their page. They don't share it on their news feed. And it's like asking to do it. It felt like I was asking them for $1 million.
Mm.
Like you can feel the attitude behind the message. You asking them, oh, you think you can share the podcast? You know, and then they say yeah, but they didn't share it. So yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. But the channel was doing what it's supposed to do. You know, it's doing what it's supposed to do. But I mean, if I come on more often, like I used to, it'll be in the algorithm. But when you don't come on a lot, the YouTube's not gonna put you in the algorithms anyway.
Mm.
But it would also be nice, when you invite people to come on your podcast, that they would at least
Mm.
go in their inbox. They could go in their inbox and share it with their friends on their inbox.
Yeah.
If they don't want to share it on their wall or share it on a news feed.
Yeah.
So that too taught me a lesson. Like not everybody's going to support you.
Yeah.
even if they're right there
Yeah.
on your platform, they're not going to do it. They're going to leave that up to you to share it.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it.
Because you can't support a person with something as small as a podcast. That really shows you we got a long way to go as a race of people coming together.
Mhm.
Because if it was a Spanish podcast, if it was a Chinese podcast, an Indian podcast,
Oh, that
there
was
would have been no problem sharing it. They would have done overnight blast, okay,
Yes.
email blast, text message blast,
Yeah.
and they would have everybody from everywhere listening. And if they couldn't listen in the same day, they would have listened in when they have time because they got the link to click on it.
Yeah.
So it just shows me that we really not as conscious and together and supportive as we claim we are. So when it's time to do it, we don't do it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's where I am with that one, you know? I don't even expect it anymore. I don't even ask. If they share, they share. If they don't, they don't. I might ask first time, you know. I'll send you the YouTube link if you want to share it. You can invite people to the podcast, you
Yeah.
know. But after that, that's it. Mm-mm, no more.
No, I
No more.
totally, yeah, I totally get it. Yeah, it is. It's very difficult. Yeah, and that's where I guess that's where our faith comes in, and believing we have a bigger purpose, and
Hmm.
it will touch the right people at the right time. Um,
Right.
the thing is, the most important thing is that despite all that, you're still going on. You know, you're still
Yeah.
there.
As long as people watch, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter how many. As long as
yeah.
people watch, even if it's just one person.
And I also also for you, I like you're still. Yeah, the topic is finding your way. You're still going on that purpose of that journey. You're believing in yourself. I was like, you know what? Yes, you will
Hmm.
have your down days, but you will still pick up and you continue and you keep going. Because in the end,
Exactly.
it really doesn't matter what other people. Well, yeah, forget them. You're the one. You have to deal with yourself every day. I think,
Hmm.
and I get you. That's how I've been feeling of late. Um, yeah. I just I post, but I feel like in the background because people only see what you post. They don't know obviously what's happening in the background, right? Um,
Right.
so there are moments like I do question myself. When I started this podcast, I think I even this whole thing was very left field. Even getting, I remember even just when I was starting even using my phone initially, and even getting like close ones to even film with me.
Hmm.
I mean, I got all sorts of excuses. Um, but I kept going on. And also he told me like, oh, you know what? Let me just stick to myself, whoever well and good. And like you, I think from the very beginning, even from late last year and this year, even when I turned the videos to become more professional, I didn't I wasn't asking people to share it. I mean, like if they happen to see me online, well and good. Um, and like I had to really tell myself, have faith, have faith. You know, you know, have faith in God. You know, the reason why He told you to start this. Um, um, and I truly believe that's a conversation with me and God. And it's again like you, it hasn't been easy. You can have people they'll look, but they won't share. Um,
Hmm.
it's so funny, but you get this a lot. Oh, I have been seeing your stuff online, but you're not sharing. But it's okay.
Exactly.
It's
And I share people work all the time. I subscribe. I do it so much
but
you would think that I would get that back in return. And it doesn't work like that. I see it doesn't work like that. But if I like something and I the channel was a good channel, I'm gonna subscribe and I'm gonna click like on it, you know?
for me, I stopped subscribe. Actually, you know what? I don't know. For me, I've decided like I'll follow less people. I don't know. I think in my mindset, I am like, okay, you know what? If you're interested in my content, you'll come to my.
But see, and that shows me, like I said, you know what? I just met this sister, and she's already showing appreciation and gratitude, loving gratitude for being on the podcast, and it's also going to give her more exposure to bring people to her channel and bring it to her. So you saw the reciprocity in that.
Yeah.
So I said, you see, these are the type of people I need to be around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These are the type of friends I need to have. Friends that want to see me strive, and I want to see them strive at the same time. You know,
No, I.
not saying, "Oh, I saw you on social media. I saw your page. Did you share it?" Like you just said. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, come on now, really? You saw it, and then what? You just went right on past it. You didn't think to listen to what we were talking about. You didn't like the topic. You didn't think it was worth sharing, even if you didn't want to listen to it. I always do that for people's channels, especially if they're talking something real, something productive, something that can help me and I can share it and it can go help somebody else. I even screen other people's channel on my channel. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what their topic is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I asked you yet, but I guess if I can ask you now, would you mind if I play your videos on my channel?
Oh, my videos?
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I've ever asked you that before, but yeah, I was like, she got some good content, and it's not like your videos are 3 hours long. You know what I'm saying? The motivational stuff, something quick and sweet that people could just click on and like, oh, she just made my day when she said that. Now I can go to work and feel better. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So I could have I could play that. And like I told you the other day, that the interview you did with the sister about
Oh.
with the makeup and stuff like that. I forgot what was it, brushstroke?
Yeah.
I can't remember the title, but anyway, that was part of the class assignment for the students. They watched the video, and then I created a worksheet
Oh
with the
wow.
video. Right. So I created a worksheet so they were able to watch the video and then complete the worksheet concerning the video. But the worksheet they completed was about them. So the video was just to guide them to put themselves in her shoes, so that way they'll be able to answer the questions from their own point of view, from their own perspective.
Okay.
You know, no copy and paste. It was from their own words. You know.
Yeah. Well, thank you for doing that.
So
Yeah. Thanks.
yeah, so things like that. You know, so you probably saw that views went up because
Yeah.
60-something students were logged in on the video. You know.
God bless you. Oh my goodness. I don't do enough for you. I need to also up my
Or maybe you didn't notice. Maybe you didn't notice, but the views did go up.
I did. I noticed that for that video, but thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
So grateful. I didn't know it was. Yeah, I remember you asking. Then I got. Yeah, I forgot about it. Yeah. Thank you so
Right.
much. I need to do more for you.
No problem. That's how it's supposed to be. That's the whole point I'm making. You know,
Yeah.
it's like I can use your material. I can use someone else's material and bring it to the classroom
Yeah.
because it's real life things that you're talking about. And the class is a vocational rehab life skills workforce class.
Yeah.
So that just falls right in the category of what we're already doing.
True.
You know,
Very.
I don't have to break my head to try and find something. I can just go right to your channel, go right to someone else's channel, and
Yeah.
pull material like that, and then create a worksheet from it.
Yes.
You
That's
know,
very true. That's very true. Yeah. But I think this this topic is so timely, and as I said, it's so hard to separate like the professional from the. I don't know. For me, I feel it's so hard the professional from the personal. So I don't know. Is there a third category? Yeah, like because everything affects us, in every way. How we feel.
mm-hmm.
It goes one into the other. Like for us, like we have our professional in two aspects actually. There's us being content creators, and then also our professional, like we our 8 to 5 job. And there's a personal
Mm-hmm.
aspect, which is also another, you know, big, personal line. And so you're looking at your family, you're like you've got children, you've got this, so many responsibilities.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I think it's so this topic, faith, fear, and finding your way, is so timely. Because as much as doing the video sometimes, it's me giving out energy, and sometimes I miss that someone pouring that energy back to me. It's it's
Exactly.
we're humans. We need equally as the same energy to be poured back. You know,
Mm.
um, and I think for me, since I don't have that from the other because I don't have it. I don't. Maybe I can count on my hands maybe very few, and that's very few, and that's not often. So I think this is where you have to you turn to God to be the source of pouring that back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Having the faith, hope, or,
Right.
because God has infinite, God and His angels, and heaven they have infinite energy to give us back, to pick us
Mm-hmm.
up again when we've fallen down,
Right.
to go back and say, okay,
Because it's like,
sorry,
yeah, it's like I couldn't be invited to someone's platform and don't share it,
yeah,
whether I'm the guest or I'm a part of the panel.
yeah,
Either way, I couldn't do that and don't see the need to say, hey, let me at least send it to 5 people in my inbox or text it to 10
yeah.
people on my phone or send it to 30 people in an email, like a group email. I just could, that's just me. I don't know. Maybe I'm in a whole world by myself probably when it comes to this thing, you know.
No, you're very unique, and you're a selfless, kind person. Um, I don't know who was telling, was it? Oh yeah, somebody, a friend, and where as because you're selfless and kind, and in this today world, like I even read somewhere in Facebook, like um, Meta, that people are who are kind and selfless tend to be seen as ignorant, naive, stupid. Have you ever been like you're like
Mm-hmm.
dumb because you're kind, because you're selfless?
Right.
It's really sad how like we've come to that point. But to each their own. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. We also we need kind people in this world. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We need kind people. We need generous people.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah. I don't know. Did you want to add anything else? Um,
I don't know. I think we might have nailed it, or somewhat nailed it anyway.
Somehow, I mean, I don't know if ever a podcast can ever nail everything.
Right. Right.
This is more like it's a conversation, and if people can relate to it, well and good. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think the one thing is just I would say to anyone who can relate to this topic, don't give up. Um, I know you're probably going through a lot now. Some even think that others may not understand internally, but keep the faith. Know that God has your back, no matter what. Even if you're not religious, you can be spiritual, whatever you believe in. Just know that.
Right.
Sometimes God is the source, God, it depends, whatever religion, Allah. Just know that.
I did invite the Oracle Prince to join us on the panel. I
Sorry.
think he's trying to see. I said I did invite the Oracle Prince to join us on the panel.
Uh,
So I was waiting to see if he's able to get on.
oh, okay. Um.
I sent him the link
Oh. Did he confirm?
in South Africa.
Oh. Wow.
He said he was trying to see how the Wi-Fi is working. I guess something was going on with the connection.
Oh, maybe you can check.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
haven't got feedback yet?
No, he didn't reply back yet.
Oh, that's sad. Maybe we can plan for next time. The three. Hopefully, next time we can do the three of us. It'll be nice to have different perspectives. Um, Definitely. What's the Oracle Prince or Oracle Prince? Sorry, I didn't quite hear that.
Oracle Prince.
Prince. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just waiting for him to reply back and see what he says. Do you write grants
But yeah,
for LLC businesses and NGO businesses?
more NGO businesses. Uh, I've never done for LLC. It doesn't stop. I
Hmm.
mean, worth learning. Um,
Have you ever voted a grant for like media or yoga?
no, but I can check it out. I mean, I believe obviously each it depends on the template because with the grants it depends who the I would say the donor or the whoever is giving the money. They will obviously give
Hmm.
a guideline of the template, what kind of information they're looking for, and how to prove that you're. I mean, like this is the way I believe. Like what is it that they're looking for, and how do you prove that you're worth for them to give money?
Hmm.
There's a certain be it NGO, be it LLC or corporate or like any entity. Yeah, you have to
Hmm.
prove. Yeah. So it's the same thought, but just different templates or different. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
You have to say what you need it for, what you're gonna do with it.
yeah. And you have to prove that you have the experience, basically. And you have the
Hmm.
some may require like, do you have certain regulations in place? So these are the same.
Are they
That's true.
saying,
I think
are they saying wait what?
it's all the same. Like yeah, although I have not written for LLC, but if you break it down, I do believe it's the
It's
same.
the same concept in
The
essence.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I was gonna ask you if you could help me with that.
no problem. Yeah, yeah. Offline, we can. Yeah, we can talk about.
Yeah, we just set a date. We set a date and time.
Mm-hmm.
We could probably do it on here, but we won't go live. It'll be private. You know,
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely.
it'll be easier that way.
If not,
So
this
you
week
just
was off, we could have worked on it.
what? I didn't know.
Oh yeah, I had a week long holiday.
Okay.
So everything happens for
So
a
you off
reason,
on weekends?
you know.
Right. Exactly.
You know,
Because I would
I
have
mean, I
been.
can't say could I should. You know what? I need to even put that out of my. It's like if I'd known, but in anyway, I were probably
We
only meant this
we know now.
podcast. Yeah,
So you just let me know like what days and times work for you. Probably the weekends anyway, right?
yeah, no problem. Yeah, we can
The weekends
set up
probably
a
that's
meet.
better for me.
Yeah, let's start the initial
Hmm.
conversation. Yeah, offline.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Because I'm in the process of getting my LLC done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on it tomorrow with someone who's going to do it for me, and then I'll be ready then. You know.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Appreciate it.
So your guy, Oracle Prince, is he coming on?
Mhm.
Is it coming on?
What you say?
Is
Oh, hold on. Let me see these messages back. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can
sure.
give him a call real. Yeah, I didn't get an answer. I don't know if he's at the store getting some prepaid credit. I don't know, but I don't know what to say at this point.
It's okay.
Like I invited him and then we logged off.
It's all right. I think maybe we can plan for next time.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's fine. Um, yeah. I guess on your end on this topic, what would you like to end with? You know.
Oh, just keep the faith and don't be fearful.
Yeah.
You want to find your way.
So
It's very simple,
yeah, and I just there's this there's something I written here. So it's actually I like it. It ends like, may you be reminded that this season is shaping the stronger, wiser version of.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
I think that's
I
the
agree.
yeah. It's this season for both of us and whoever is going to listen. So I don't know when,
Hmm.
in the future or even whenever they may be going through something.
Right.
Just remember that this season is shaping the stronger, wiser version of you. And you have to
Hmm.
look back and be grateful that you went. All of us are going to be grateful that we went through this hurdle because that will shape us up.
Right.
Move on to the next step, to the next step, to the next step.
Hmm.
Actually, if we hadn't gone through what we had gone through in the past, we won't even be talking right now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So it was meant for you to go
yeah,
through
it
it.
was actually good. And
You can understand it better. You appreciate it better.
yes, and also the choices we make. Do you ever like the sliding door? You know, you can
Hmm.
choose. You can go through route A or route B. The choices we were
Right.
talking about. You can choose to stay within, or can you go through the hardship and learn something through it, or you can go through the hardship and still stick. Be where you're going. You haven't learned. So it really, yeah, yeah.
Right.
And believing that it's whatever we're going through, we will come out wiser and stronger.
Exactly.
Yeah, I hope I also remember that. Oh gosh, I need to remember. It's so easy to pour out
We
the idea.
always remind ourselves.
Huh?
Yeah, we always have to remind our own self.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much because I think I also needed this. I really needed this. Um, Yeah.
A little therapy session, right?
I needed this, leave in your head a lot. One lives in their head a lot that you need to remind us.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
So until next time,
until next time, and
uh,
offline we'll talk about the what we were talking about. Yeah.
yes.
All right.
If you want to come back on in like 2 weeks, you let me know and we can come back on in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. Oh, okay. We'll talk. Let's talk offline. I'll let you.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
also it depends on.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. I was gonna say also it depends if we on Oracle when you come on.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. At least give him like 2 weeks ahead of time, then he can get the internet together and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'll just keep you posted. I guess he'll reply back sometime today, and I'll let you know
Okay. And also
what
next
day he
time
makes it.
we
Hmm.
can. It's morning your end, right?
Hmm?
No, I was gonna say
What are you saying?
we try like broadcasting when it's. Remember last time when we were supposed to? It was a mix up of the time when it was gonna be like 2 a.m. my end, and
Oh yes, exactly.
I don't know. I don't know.
So,
Maybe
so you wanna do it earlier your
I
time,
don't know.
or is
What a
it
shot. We can
afternoon
do it.
better?
It's worth a shot.
Hmm.
Maybe we might get more viewership from your end, like the states, like live.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Just a thought. But anyway,
Okay, we can decide
yeah,
when that time comes.
yeah. All right. Okay. Thank you so much.
And thank you too.
And
Thanks for coming
yeah.
and sharing your thoughts.
Sorry.
I said thank you for coming and sharing your thoughts.
Thank you as always and having me.
And
Yeah.
enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Likewise. Thank you. All
Okay.
right. Bye.